Alright, Thanksgiving is going to look different this year, but that does not mean that we need to let our dessert suffer. If anything, I think it means we need better dessert this year. So here's 10 days of Thanksgiving pies. Feel free to follow along. We're gonna start off with Swirly Apple Pie. You need 1/4 cup melted butter, 1/3 cup brown sugar, 2 teaspoons of cinnamon, 1/2 teaspoon vanilla, mix it up, then spread it out on some pie crust, roll that up, put it in the fridge, then cut it like that. For your apple filling, you're gonna want 6 cups of apple slices with a tablespoon of lemon, mix it up, set it aside. In a large pot, you need 1.5 cups of sugar, 1/3 cup cornstarch, a teaspoon of cinnamon, teaspoon nutmeg, mix that up, add 3.5 cups of water, bring it to a boil for 2 minutes, add your apples, bring it back to a boil, and then turn down the heat for 6 to 8, and then let it cool for 30. And then press down your cinnamon rolls, add your filling, and then the crumb topping is in the comments because I cannot add it, I ran out of time, but yay! Have you ever seen a pie with a cornucopia on top? Now you have. This is day 2 of 10 days of Thanksgiving pies, and we're making raspberry pie with a cornucopia on top, because why not? Make a cornucopia out of aluminum foil, spray it with a ton of Pam, and then get some strips of pie crust, weave it, and then form it around your cornucopia. Put it in the fridge for like an hour at least, and then take it out, do an egg wash, whatever you want, and then put it back in the fridge or freezer for like an hour, and then bake it at 350 for maybe 15 minutes, but you're gonna wanna watch it. The filling is 5 cups of frozen raspberries or fresh, a little less than a cup of sugar, 1/3 cup of flour, mix it together, let it defrost all together. If you used fresh, just let it sit for a little bit. It's gonna get thick. And then pour it into your pie crust, do whatever you want on top, bake it at 350 for 25 minutes with aluminum foil, 25 minutes without, and then decorate with grapes. I think we can all agree that this year has kind of sucked, but Thanksgiving is only a week away, and I for one believe in the power of pie. So here's day 3 of 10 days of Thanksgiving pies, apple cranberry edition. Let's try to redeem 2020 even a little bit. 6 cups of apple slices, 1.5 cups of cranberries, 2 tablespoons of cornstarch, 3/4 cup of sugar, 1 tablespoon orange zest, 2 teaspoons cinnamon, 1/2 teaspoon each of nutmeg and ground cloves. Mix that up, add 2 tablespoons of cubed butter. I forgot it, please ignore that. Put it in your pie crust, and then for the top, I got some strips, twisted them, wove them, bake at 400 for 20 minutes, 350 for 30 minutes. And what should I do next? S'mores or creme brulee pumpkin? If you're looking for a showstopper of a pie, look no further. Here's day 4 of 10 days of Thanksgiving pies, creme brulee pumpkin pie edition. Here's my pie crust recipe again. There's a link in my bio to it as well. 2.5 cups of flour, 1 tablespoon of sugar, 1 cup of butter cubed, mix it up, add 6 to 8 tablespoons of ice cold water. Again, go to the link in my bio. It has a video too that explains it much better. That makes enough for 2 pie crusts, and this filling makes enough for 2 pies. You want 1 big can of pumpkin puree, or 2 cans of the smaller pumpkin puree, 2 cans of sweetened condensed milk, 4 eggs, 2 teaspoons of cinnamon, 2 teaspoons nutmeg, a teaspoon ginger, a teaspoon salt. Mix it together, make your pie crust like so, and then put it in the freezer for a second, and then put your filling in the oven at 425 for 15 minutes, and then 350 for 35. Creme brulee, add some sugar, torch it, and keep doing that until this. Simple yet delicious. For day 5 of 10 days of Thanksgiving pies, we're making a classic blueberry pie, and this recipe is great because it also works with blackberries, and they both turn out so yummy. 6 cups of fresh blueberries. If you use frozen, just add a little more lemon juice. In a large pot, 1.5 cups of white sugar, a teaspoon cinnamon, and 1/4 cup of cornstarch. Mix it, add a cup of water, mix it again, then turn on your heat, medium-high. Boil it up, let it get thick like that. Turn off the heat, add 1/2 of your blueberries, mix it up, take off the heat, and then you're gonna want to add 2 tablespoons to the rest of your blueberries, add the rest of them, mix it up, let them cool, and then prepare your pie crust. You can do crimping like that. I use that tool to make that happen, and it's so fun. I'll put it in the link in my bio. And then I made some leaves, I had some flowers, and I just had fun with this. It was great. And then I added a turkey, 425 for 20 minutes, and then 350 for 20 to 25. Recipe is in the link in my bio, and that's it baked. It is day 6 of 10 days of Thanksgiving pies, and we have finally arrived. It is time for the s'mores pie. You want 1.5 cups of crushed graham crackers, a tablespoon brown sugar, 2 tablespoons of white sugar, 1/2 cup melted butter. Mix that up, pour it into your pie pan, pat it down, use your fingers for the sides, put it in the oven at 375 for 7 to 10 minutes. For your filling, you want 2 cups of white sugar, 5 tablespoons of cocoa powder, 1/4 cup flour, mix that up, can of evaporated milk, teaspoon of vanilla, 4 beaten egg yolks. Mix that up, and then 4 tablespoons of butter. Mix on the heat until melted. Pour it into your crust, 350 for 40 minutes. Your marshmallow meringue topping, heat-safe bowl, 4 egg whites, a cup of sugar, and half a teaspoon cream of tartar. Keep mixing until you reach 160 Fahrenheit, and then you can take it off the heat, pour it into a KitchenAid, whatever mixer you've got. 5 minutes, high speed, get those stiff, glossy peaks. So good. I'm obsessed with this. And then use a kitchen torch or the broiler, and yeah, yum! Bad pie crust can absolutely ruin your pie, but with these tips, even store-bought pie crust is going to help you out. But if you have the time, absolutely make it yourself. It is flaky, it is strong. I literally lifted it out of the pie pan and it's delicious. 2.5 cups of flour, 1 tablespoon of sugar, and a teaspoon salt if using unsalted butter. Mix that together, cube your butter. I do 1 stick at a time. You're gonna need 2 sticks. Leave the other stick in the freezer. Use your index finger and thumb for the most part to squish the butter. Don't overmix it, don't overwork it, don't let it get too warm, and then mix in the other stick of butter, and then 6 to 8 tablespoons of ice cold water. I just pour it on the saran wrap and then clump it in that and put it in the fridge. Then you're going to roll it out, put it in your pie pan, leave some extra around the edges so you can fold it under, okay? And then shape the edge how you want. Put it in the freezer for like 30 minutes before you put your filling in, and then bake it immediately. Look how strong it is. You want a slice of pecan pie, or do you want a slice of pecan pie? Either way, we're going to make a delicious pie for day 9 of 10 days of Thanksgiving pies, one that was highly requested, and I'm so happy to make it. I also did gluten-free crust, which I used my same crust recipe, just do a 1-to-1 substitution with King Arthur's gluten-free flour because it's the best. The filling is going to be 1 3/4 a cup of white sugar, 2 teaspoons cornstarch, mix that, 1/4 a cup dark corn syrup, 1/4 a cup butter, and a tablespoon of cold water. Mix that over medium heat until it's boiling, and then take off the heat. 3 eggs, make them frothy, add a little bit of your hot sugar mixture to the eggs. You don't want to cook the eggs, so add it gradually and keep adding. Once you've got it all in there, 1/4 a teaspoon of salt and a teaspoon of vanilla, mix that together, and then add 1 1/4 cup of pecans, mix that all together, roll out your crust, put your filling in your crust, 350 for 50 minutes. It should not be making waves, but it can be wobbly. Thanksgiving! It's finally here. Day 10 of 10 days of Thanksgiving pies, and I just want to say thank you for being on this journey with me. We're making a diabetic-friendly banana cream pie. Vanilla wafer crust, so good. 1.5 cups of crushed vanilla wafers and 1/2 cup melted butter, and 1 to 2 tablespoons of stevia if you'd like it. Push it into a pan, bake at 375 for 7 to 10 minutes. Your filling is going to be 1.5 ounce package of sugar-free vanilla instant pudding mix, and then 1.5 cups of cold milk. You're going to whisk for about 2 minutes, and it's going to get thick like that. And then you're going to add 1 cup out of an 8-ounce thing of Cool Whip, sugar-free, to that pudding, and then mix it together. Slice 3 bananas, add them to your crust, layer them up however you need to do it. So good. And then add your pudding mixture on top. Push it down so it gets in between those banana slices. Do whatever you want to the top, and then add the rest of your Cool Whip, which is going to be a lot, but so good. And wow, happy. When I posted day 1 of 10 days of Thanksgiving pies, I didn't expect it to go anywhere. And then you guys immediately proved me wrong and blew up my first video. And I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart for loving what I do and for appreciating what I'm passionate about. It means the world to me. I'm going to do a giveaway soon, and I'm figuring out a decorating series, I think, for the holiday season. But let me know what you want to see and I'll figure it out. This caramel pear pie is so good. Gotta share it. 6 cups of cubed pears, 1/2 cup of sugar, 1/4 cup flour, a teaspoon cinnamon, and 1/2 teaspoon ginger. Mix that up, put it in the fridge. Prepare your pie crust. Do whatever you want. I put some of my filling in and then added 1/4 cup of caramel, and then added the rest of the caramel. So good. Baked at 400 for 20 minutes, 350 for 30 to 35. I loved it so much. And again, thank you all so much. You're incredible.